Morgan was like, yes, we've been here for what, like 5 days a week, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, I haven't done any of the TikToks I was supposed to do. And it got to like the last day. He was like, so I'm going to run around the ship, film in each section. Can you just stand here? I'll do a dance with you for 2 seconds and then I'm going to run off again. I was like, cool, sounds good. Yeah. And then the TikTok
5, 6, 7, 8.
He actually got Richard Branson in the pool.
Because we
So it was good.
We got invited to this, the Virgin thing. It was incredible.
The launch.
Yeah, and
What was it, Valiant Lady?
the Valiant Lady, that was it.
That was the one. The ship's name.
Yeah.
Blimey now.
Yeah, I think
She did great food.
I think we'd heard rumours that Richard Branson was on the ship somewhere.
Yeah, he was on off or something.
Yeah, and we didn't think we'd meet it. Did you?
I didn't meet
You
it.
didn't? Oh.
I think I was eating the food.
Oh, because I can't remember who I was with, but we just heard this like thing over the tannoy being like, please can all staff members come to the deck to get a picture with Richard. And we were like, there's only one Richard that they're talking about, surely. So we run up there, and then all of a sudden Richard Branson's on there, and we're just like, this is crazy. And then he like jumps in the pool, starts dancing, and it's just him in the pool.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of like, get in, everyone.
He's chaos.
And, yeah.
I was going to say, what's he like? Yeah.
Oh, so all I did, I just danced next to him and gave him a fist bump. That was it. I don't actually really properly meet him. Yeah.
Welcome back to Freedom Impact Trust. It's AJ and Curtis here, and we have got, I'm going to say, a super six octar. Couldn't even get it. That's a good start to the podcast, isn't it? A super TikTok star on today, which has just blown up over the past era. He's absolutely lovely. Been chatting to him before the podcast, and we've just been laughing non-stop. I cannot wait to talk to him now. Morgan, how are you doing, man?
I'm good.
Give it
Thank
to
you
us.
so much for having
Morgan
me.
was like in the arena.
Wembley.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, Mom.
No, thank you so much for having me. This is my first podcast I've ever properly done.
No.
Oh, is it?
I think I did a friend's ages ago, but it was just kind of like a little trial.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
We don't class that as a podcast. No.
And I love podcasts. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I love consuming them, but never probably done one. So
It's so nice to do a podcast.
I love that.
You have time to develop the conversation. I feel like in our industry, social media, especially on TikTok, it's so fast paced and it's so direct to the point sometimes. Even on yours, we'll talk about it in a second. You're very good at telling a story through your short TikToks, but on a podcast, you really have time to actually dive deep into a subject that you wouldn't have the opportunity. It's just that's gone. The capability, I feel like it's been lost. And that's why I feel like podcasts, the art form, I don't know if it's a bloody art or not. But
we ain't that good
nice
yet. Women now.
No, but I'm about podcasting itself. You know what I mean?
We are the Mona Lisa of podcasts.
We need to be dead to make money then. I don't want to do that.
But you are the topic, actually. You are the option today. Well, I'll take it back to the start. To tell us, because you've literally, you started TikTok throughout lockdown and everything, but there's so many
Morgan's
avenues.
gone zero to hero.
Morgan has gone zero to hero. He really has. But before TikTok, before lockdown, before all of that, what were you like? Tell us. What was the young Morgan? What did you want? What were your ambitions? Where did you want to take yourself, your career? What did you have in your business mind?
Yeah, so I think for me, music was always the thing I was kind of drawn to. So when I was at school, I was learning to play the guitar.
I do have to say, I've listened to some of your songs. They are great.
Oh,
they are fantastic, I will say.
Kind of started doing guitar lessons at school. And then I was really into musical theatre. So my school put on a production of Billy Elliot, which I auditioned for and got on the ensemble. I was like,
Well, I
know. And they gave me a solo singing role in the show. And I'd never done singing properly like that before. So I was a little bit nervous. It kind of got to Mr. Reeve was on the piano playing it. And big
out Mr. Reeve.
Yeah, big up Mr. Reeve. I did my solo singing, and I just really enjoyed projecting my voice. And
could you sing straight away? Could you sing? Did you always have a little bit of a natural talent for
I think
it?
at the time I was probably I'm okay, but looking
could
back,
definitely hold a note.
Okay, hold a note.
Yeah, but when some people think they can and they really can't. We've all watched X Factor. Let's be honest.
I know I can't hold a note.
I reckon you could.
Everybody says that.
Just because he's pretty don't mean he can sing. I'll tell you that.
There we go.
Come on, baby, lollipop.
But yeah, singing was your like when we first spoke, like singing was your passion and kind of really putting some time and effort into. Because you write your songs as well, don't you? Which I appreciate more than anything, like the writing side.
So I was kind of did the singing in that show, and then because I played guitar as well and sung, and my parents used to take me to Sidmouth Folk Festival when I was younger, and we used to see all the like buskers and street performers, and I was always in awe of it. And I just wanted to give it a go, so started singing and playing guitar, then started busking on the street. So I'd just go out in Brighton, set up my equipment, and just sing and hope I entertained and people put a penny in the case.
I was gonna say sometimes I've never done like busking on the streets, so I've seen it, but I don't actually know what it's like doing it behind that side of it. Really, I mean, is there some days that you get no money whatsoever?
100%.
Is there some days where you're like, wow, I mean, that was fantastic.
So especially at the start, like because I used to just do it with just me and a guitar, like no amplification, no microphone. No, literally, like just
what did you use, a hat or a cup?
I have just had my guitar case out, and I'd sing like the Arthur the Aardvark theme tune, and like anything that like people walking past would stop and be like, oh, that's interesting, and then listen. So it was nerve-wracking, I think, especially when it's like you set up next to like some shop, everyone's walking past, you're like, oh, this feels a bit weird. You start playing the first one, you're like, oh yeah, like people are gonna like it, and then you kind of just start doing that. So that's what I was doing, and then I started doing Vine, because when I was at school, Vine was
for the Vine,
do it for the Vine, back in the day. So I started an account on Vine and just put up some like singing videos. And one of them did really well. I think it was the Shawn Mendes cover, because he was like popping on there at the time. Or maybe it was a cover that he'd done or something like that. But it went to like global trending on Vine in the UK.
Holy cow. Congrats, man.
Holy cow. Which
I have to remember I'm on a podcast, don't
you? I was at school as well, so like everyone, because Vine was like the thing at the time.
So you're doing it just to have fun, to show your friends what you're doing. It wasn't really like, you were kind of thinking back of your head a little bit, maybe I want to make this a career, but you were just like, actually, this is cool. I'm enjoying it.
I just really enjoyed like singing it and playing. But and it was nuts. Like people in the corridor would be like, oh, I saw you on Vine, like, on the it was nuts. And then the
Mr.
following
Popular then after that.
it was nuts. And then like a couple of weeks later, I was busking in Brighton, and I was singing, and then I look up, and Alfie Days is leaning against this tree, like just look like with his camera filming me. And I like, he was the biggest like YouTuber at the time. Obviously being in Brighton as well, like you hear stories of people that have like met Alfie and Zoe and all of this. And I was there, saw Alfie, I was singing, and I just was like, ooh, like started like fangirling. And then in Brighton they had
did you run after him?
No, just you wait. So they had
and this is why he has a restraining order now.
But they had these like I don't know, they were kind of like noise pollution police in Brighton. So if a busker was too loud, a shop could call up and they'd just come and ask you to turn down or remove you. Yeah. So depending on if the shopkeeper liked you being there but just wanted you to turn down, they could basically tell them what to do. Then they come. So
you know if you're a good busker or not, because you've either been moved on or they're like, actually, he's not too bad.
Yeah. But I was literally saw Alfie and I was like fangirl. Then saw he was recording me and I was like, oh gosh, I need to like play well here. And then as I look, there's these two noise pollution police coming straight to me, and they stopped me and they're like, oh, really sorry, can you turn down? And I was like, oh yeah. So I was doing that, and I was like, I thought Alfie would have gone. I look up, he's still there. So I was just like, right, well, what's the, and La 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 by Sam Smith was like #1 at the time. So just started playing that, did it. Alfie put some money in my case, went to go. But I obviously wanted to say hello. So in the microphone to the whole street, I was just like, Alfie. He turned around. I was just like, Alfie. He turned around and he was like, oh, you're right, mate. And I was like, yeah. And then we were chatting. And then he was just like, are you on like social media? And in my head, I was like, oh, I'm on
I think Vine. We should explain this to people that listen. Like Alfie, how many millions of followers has he got? 6, 7, like,
millions. Yeah. He was
Zoe's got like the same.
10, I think it's 10 million on Instagram or something.
It's gone up now. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're big in that industry. 100%. Massive.
This is my moment to shine.
Yeah, and I was like, and then we spoke, and then he was just like, what's your Twitter? I was like, oh, Morgan M. James, like, he walked off, and that was it. And I was like, will this be a thing? Like, is anything going to come of this? And then I think 2 days later, I was at Thorpe Park on a school trip. So I was in year 11 at this point. And I had my iPod Touch, and we gone around Thorpe Park. Obviously, you can't have Wi-Fi for the iPod Touch, so I couldn't get on the internet. And my normal phone, I didn't have like 4G or anything. And then having a great time, and he posted this vlog like whilst I was at the theme park, and then got on the coach, connected to the Wi-Fi, and my Apple Touch is just going crazy on Twitter. And he posted the video, and he'd like clickbaited it out, saying something like "getting married," like da 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 da. So all these people watching the vlog, seeing my Twitter, searching my name, and it was nuts. I think I gained like 7,000 followers overnight on Twitter. All because of Alfie Days. And I was kind of like, this is insane. Like,
is that sort of what actually gave you? Because man, that's a lot of followers to gain. Like when you've come from like 0 followers or however many. Like I remember I actually got a load of followers.
Can you guys?
I got a load of followers.
Morgan says 7,000, and you.
No, I got a load of followers from when I got beaten up. Before I was famous or anything.
I was going to say Love One.
No. Before that, I remember getting my first like
sympathy
10,000. Yeah, it was sympathy follows. I was lucky because AJ he obviously has a big following. So, but we got jumped to Christmas one time. But
no way.
Got the story store and everything. I got my first like 10,000 followers from that.
I
remember it. From being in the front page in the sun.
Hospital.
And I remember like that. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, my first, I'm becoming famous. You know, on TikTok, on like Instagram and stuff. And I was saying, was that sort of like? Did you sort of feel like, wow, I'm starting to now, let's do something with social media. I can become something with social media now.
That was very, and it was that thing of like, because I hadn't had, like the Vine thing had been really cool, and like that one video had done really well, but there wasn't like a audience there. It was kind of just like people seeing the video. Yeah, exactly. And then, when this on Twitter, because also his fans were so, do you know what I mean? Like, so passionate, so passionate. And they were all tweeting me like, can you start a YouTube channel? Da, 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 da. And I tweeted the picture of me and Alfie, and I was like, thank you so much. It was just like all the replies and people making like edits from fan accounts. I've been in this video for like 10 seconds. It was, crazy. Then from there, started a YouTube channel. Started uploading covers. So like whenever a new song would come out, I try and cover it as quick as I could, because then it would come higher in like YouTube search rankings. And so I'd be covering like One Direction songs, like all the boys went solo. I think I did all their first like solo singles, everything like that.
Best cover song that you've done for you? What do you feel it was?
It's a great question. I'm not sure. I did like a mashup of this Charlie's Angel. It was the soundtrack from Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
And we filmed it in this abandoned car park in Brighton, which was really fun. That was really fun. So that's probably one of my favorites.
How much time you're saying this is a lot of time. How much time were you putting into this? Like after school, during school, like
so it was
a full-time job.
Yeah, so I'd finished by the time I was kind of doing the YouTube. I kind of got to college, so I was in college. I think like 4 days a week at sixth form. Just any time I could, and as soon as a new song would come out, I'd just get home, race, like try and cover it as soon as possible. So it was just very much like everything
stuck in the rat race.
A new song comes out, like they've probably sang the song 1,000 times before recording that song and stuff, and it's probably taken a set amount of time, so they've nailed it and got it perfect. The actual singers. How long would it take you to actually do it? Would you have like one evening, got to practice it 10 times, and I've got to record?
So I'd kind of
literally be that.
You kind of just listen to it over and over again. You could usually kind of pick out the chord progression, because a lot of songs obviously are similar with the same progression, so you can kind of and stuff, exactly, kind of work it out, and then just have the lyrics off screen and like I hope no one notices, and
the eyes just drop down every
just do it a couple over and over again until you get it. So that was kind of how the YouTube started, and then in terms of like where TikTok kind of came in, my friend George lives on this bus, so he bought like a old school library bus from the Isle of Man, and he turned it into like a music studio and a home.
Awesome.
Really cool. So he lives on that, and then he has the mirrored windows where you can look out but people can't look in.
That's cool.
And he parked up on Brighton Beach, filmed these people like doing their hair in the mirror, put it on TikTok, which was this like, I think it just changed from Musical.ly to TikTok, posted it, and it got 1 million views in a couple of days. And he was like, Morgan, like, check this out. And I was like, what?
It's such a unique world in TikTok, the things that can blow up.
100%. And I was spending hours trying to read the lyrics, like doing this.
He just snaps.
And I was like, that's crazy. So basically George, my friend George Holiday, made me download TikTok, started posting up some of my covers and stuff, and slowly got into it, and kind of went off from there.
Well, at what point did you think like started going from covers to really being like, actually, no, I want to try and make a business out of this. I want to write my own song. I want to kind of like move forward in that aspect.
So it was a really interesting one, because I'd finished college by this point, and and I was working as a videographer, doing a lot of like freelance stuff and like editing for like YouTubers and editing for like commercial clients and stuff like that. So I was kind of doing that as my job, and then the YouTube and the TikTok was just all kind of like doing it for fun. Like I loved creating, and I think the more I was posting on TikTok, the more of a sort of not fan base, but like the more of like a community you were kind of building, and you noticed
fan base, fan base, man. You have people that support you and love watching what you do. You do great videos. Yeah,
your content's so good that like even if you have a fan base, like some of the stuff we'll talk about in a second, like it's just good. Like I'd show it to mum. I'd be like, oh look, this is a cool video. Like because you do a storyline. You don't just, you actually put a lot of time and thought into like, say a brand comes to you and says, hey, we want to sell this, whatever this is. Like you don't just go, okay, here's this and it's really good because it does this. You actually make a whole storyline. It's entertaining to watch it, and they're like, oh damn it, it was a branded video, but like it's still fun to watch. Like, I still want to watch it again.
I think one of the new, I did just watch on the way here, one of the newer ones that you've posted, Snickers, other brands are available. Snickers one, you're literally playing a guitar thing in the toilet, aren't you, in the bathroom? I had no idea where this video was going, but I was captivated by it. Then all of a sudden you open the freezer and grab an ice cream out, like a Snickers bar out. This is great. I loved it.
Oh yeah, that was such because I think that's the, like with the TikTok content as well. I was sort of seeing all this like the dance trends and stuff. Yeah. Which wasn't really me, but then I think because I came from like a editing for other YouTubers background and kind of I loved like YouTubers like Casey Neistat and people that told like full stories. So I think my TikTok content evolved into that, and where it is now, where it's, I don't know, I just want to try and tell a story and just be as creative as possible with it. But yeah, the Snickers one was wicked because it was for the Snickers ice cream, this campaign. And it was just like, you can just kind of, creative freedom basically was just given and had this idea.
Because like some brands, like for example, now we're on talk about Snickers, hopefully I get sent some Snickers. But did they go like, okay, we want the brief? Because sometimes, as we know, like Curtis, like some briefs and some brands like, I want you to do this, this, and this. You're like, okay, that's not really yours. And then some brands are like, okay, cool, just like, as long as it's entertaining and we sign off on it, then
hit these
take
words,
it away.
Do what you want type thing.
Yeah.
What's it like for you? Is it you get told you've got to do this?
Yeah, not really. I think most of the campaigns I work on are very much.
They book you because they know they're going to get a good story. I don't know where it's going, but he could be on the toilet, maybe playing the guitar or in the street on his piano.
But no, it's just, I think, when working with like brand, and that was the thing as well, when the first ever brand I worked with on TikTok, because that was the thing, I didn't know you could make money from it either. Like I was just doing it for fun, and then there is a brand called Squeaky Bean, which is a vegan food company. They're incredible, and they reached out to me, and it was,
are you vegan?
I'm not. However, I did another thing.
No.
I did for that meal.
I did another project with them as well, where I lived in a house in Dorset for a month, and it was like a vegan content creator house. So they took content creators, and we became vegan for a whole month, cooked together, like everything, created content. It was amazing. It was so good.
Gotta just say, did you feel better after eating vegan for a month?
100%.
You did?
Yeah. After the first like week,
I've never been vegan, so I don't know. I've never done it.
It was amazing, and also I didn't realize how many things you can eat that are like Oreos are vegan.
The alternatives,
and
there's more flavor. I feel like there's more thought process into like, it's not just like, okay, I'll just have chicken and veg or whatever. It's like there's actually like there's flavor put into it, and there's more because there isn't so much the usual what your brain tells you you'd want. Like they actually think about it.
He did 100%,
it. I did it for like 6 months religiously.
Wow.
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
What was it like in them like TikTok creator houses when you were doing it? Did this open your eyes up to a whole new world of what TikTok can be and the creating process behind it?
Yeah. The thing was, so I was living at home in Brighton. We had obviously like the lockdowns and everything. And not like you couldn't really go out and see friends. It was kind of coming. I think all the lockdowns were finished, but it was still you were being like very careful and like
stay away.
100%. And like I wanted to be careful with I don't want to give my family COVID and everything like that. So I was very careful like when I go out and where I go out. And this opportunity to go into a house in Dorset, this huge like country house, like, it was incredible. They had like a swimming pool, like an outdoor swimming lake, which I went like, I bought a little snorkel and went like, they'd be like, where's Morgan? I'd just be there like,
just see a little shark fin in a snorkel.
But and then there were amazing creators I was in there with, and it was so great as well because we could like make videos that I couldn't have done by myself. So Squid Game was popping at this time. Like that was the biggest like trending thing. And me and Ollie El Burrito on TikTok, he does incredible cooking videos. Like he just makes like unbelievable. You watch them and be like, I want to live with this guy. Like, yeah, it's not. But we did like the world's biggest Squid Game cookie. So we did the sugar and melted it.
Oh yeah.
And we did it. We had this big table, laid out all the tinfoil, just made it absolutely massive. And then we actually ended up dropping it as well, and it smashed everywhere.
Oh,
but it's one of those where, like, number one, I couldn't have done that at home because Mum would have shouted at me for getting sugar everywhere. But also, like, just being able to do that collaboratively with people was wicked. And then that video, I think, did like 5 million views.
Wow.
It was. I think the creativity and collaboration was wicked in that house. And yeah, we had like videography teams that were amazing as well, and Gareth and James and everyone. Yeah, it was wicked. Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
I want to bring it back a second because you said like you realize, oh wow, I can now make money from TikTok. I actually realize that this can be a business. I can earn from this.
Yeah.
You don't have to say the figures and stuff, but obviously from like your first brand deal that you did at the start compared to the things that you're doing now, have you just seen a grow in the price of what brands will actually pay you now that your following's bigger, everything's bigger? Is it very nice how it's going?
Yeah, so when I did the first campaign, as I said, like I kind of knew a little bit about this influencer marketing thing that I'd heard about. And I was approached, and I charged like a tiny fee, just because I didn't know what to charge. Yeah, 100%. And I put all the money as well. I put back into making this video, just kind of to make it as good as possible.
Yeah.
So I hired my friend to be a cameraman, and like we went on like Brighton. It was a not chicken challenge because it was a brand new product that wasn't. It was like vegan chicken, so not real chicken. So I showed that
all the vegan stuff.
I showed that I wasn't chicken by going on a ride on Brighton Pier. So I paid for like the ride and stuff. But yeah, it has just been nuts as it's kind of got bigger and working with like different brands. Like, and it also like I remember when I first started working with people like Disney and like all the kind of bigger stuff was coming in and working
big boys.
with, and like working with brands I've like loved and like just brands that I'm such a huge, like you get an email
of the brands
100%.
Like, oh my god, is this real?
100%. I'll get an email and they're like, hey, like we'd love to do like something with you, and I feel like I can't put into words how much I love them, and I'm like, I love you know what I mean? I'm just like, I've loved you forever. Even like I did something with Hard Rock Cafe. And like I love good Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah.
Big Hard Rock Cafe fan. Yeah.
I went to the one in Cardiff when I was younger, and I loved it. And like whenever I go to a city, I'll try and go there. Even if I'm not going to eat, I'll just go and look at all the like memorabilia.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you buy like a souvenir?
I collect the pin badges.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and like whenever, if I ever go on holiday somewhere, I'll always go get my little pin badge. But like they reached out to this thing, and I was just like, I couldn't tell them enough what a big like fanboy I was of Hard Rock Cafe.
Trying to play it cool, but not.
But no, it was wicked, and that I think that stuff really does just blow your mind. And then also like the stuff, because when I was in the Squeaky House, actually, I got an email to go to the James Bond premiere for the new.
That's cool. Yeah.
No Time to Die. That was it. Yeah. Got this email, and I was like, is this for real? Like, I was like, why am I being invited? I was like, I'm just making Squid Game cookies. Like, what am I?
I just dropped the Squid Game cookies, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And it, I didn't completely believe if it was real and then, I traveled to London for it, went, and it was just like, this is incredible. I just couldn't believe I was there. It was. Because
you do loads on red carpets now, don't you? I've seen you on all of different TikToks. You do interviewing loads of different people.
And the TV events like the other night, was it Celebs Go Dating?
Yeah, Celebs Go Dating.
Chaos.
It was so fun. I had last night, Chloe Burrows. I also her podcast is brilliant. I listen like religiously, as I will be when your one comes out.
Well said. Yeah, you can come back.
But I interviewed her last night, just talking about her process on Celebs Go Dating, and then she was like, she's like, I don't really go on that many dates. I'm actually scared of men. And then I just went, rah. I don't know what. In my head, I was like, that'd be so funny. She started cracking up and dying.
She either ran or laughed. It was a straightforward 50-50.
Security.
It was so. But it will make a very funny clip when it goes out. But I love doing that. Love all of that. I'd love to do more of it, like the kind of like interviewing celebs and I just love it.
So you kind of like at the moment, how does the process work for you? Because by the sounds of it, like you've still got that creative control when it comes to shooting the content, the mood board that the TikTok's going to be in itself, or all the video content. the management side, are you doing that yourself? Are you kind of keeping that in-house at the minute?
Yeah. So when I started, is this light all right, by the way? On the, is it?
He's like,
I
suddenly,
don't know if it's right.
Look, you actually have one strip straight down your face.
it looks quite
look
good.
alright, yeah.
But
The light's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Morgan's like, oh my god, no, it's gonna get too hot now.
I'm not gonna be sweating again.
Flick the
I'm gonna
AC
get one
on.
side of my face sweat.
We'll talk about the very nice flat in a second
Oh
with
my
the AC on. Yeah.
But yeah.
From
yeah.
Brighton to the big city.
Yeah, mate. But yeah, what were we saying? Sorry.
Taking in-house management.
Yes.
Like, you take control of that side, don't you?
Yeah. So I did. I guess I started having emails and people that wanted to like work with me. And
No, look at this.
It's
light.
like, I'm like,
If nobody's watching this on video, there's like a strip of light in between the blinds, just really piercing through Morgan's face.
oh, dude, so I moved back a little bit. Is that better?
All I'm gonna say, you look
Whatever-
glowing.
whatever's better for
You
you.
look great.
Yeah. Okay, I'll move there. We should move that around. Hang on.
Live and ready
Ooh,
in the
yeah.
middle of London.
There we go. There we go.
never get the sun, and we finally got sun here in London.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah. So I and that was the thing as well, because like the job I'd been doing was editing videos, and it was all very creative, and admin was one thing I wasn't so good at. But yeah, so I was doing all my own emails and replying to everyone and working with brands directly, and then it just got to a point where I just felt a bit out of my depth. So yeah, reached out to a couple of like management companies, had a couple of discussions. Yeah, I've had management since last October, which has been amazing because it means that I can focus on all the creative stuff and all the bits I love, like creating the videos.
I think it's just like important, as you said, you kind of feel out of your depth. Like at school, like you've never been taught like a simple thing, how to write an invoice, how to say format an email correctly, like 100%. The intro, the exit, how you should kind of close it, or just simple thing like deal memos. Like it's something that you think is so valuable in life because you're gonna get a job, you're gonna have to write an invoice, you're gonna have to work out what a paycheck is, but in reality, you're not taught that at school once, ever.
Or
It's crazy.
How to sort of choose the money that you should be getting paid for doing what you're doing. All of these.
But that's on a personal level. But like writing an invoice, like for any job, that's just going to be there.
National insurance number, things like that. They get taught in school at all.
Yeah, it's what like the invoice, and I was okay with because I used to like do weddings and stuff as well. So I kind of learned how to do an invoice from that. So I could have a little template and could do that. But it was more the emailing and doing the whole
lingo.
Hello, and all the.
Hey, I'm Morgan. I'm really happy to do the brand. Pay me a bit of money, please.
And it's all the really corporate words that are like, oh, how about EOD? And I'm googling. I'm like, what does EOD mean?
Exactly. Look forward to your reply. Thank you.
Happy Friday.
Yours sincerely.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, just try. Sorry, I had to try and learn, but yeah, I'm loving being able to focus more on the that creative
that
side,
freedom side.
And I think having a manager is great as well, because you sometimes need a middleman between you and the brand. Because if it isn't something you agree with,
I'm a bit of both. I'm on that side.
Yeah, I mean it's 50-50, but you do need to sometimes have a middleman, because you don't want to say, no, I'm not doing that, guys. That's absolutely ridiculous. And one, you're not paying me enough money. You can't sometimes be the person to say that, because you can come across bad.
You can.
You need
the
middleman
in black
to
and white and talk to them.
Yeah, you can, but sometimes you got to have that fine line if you're trying to be the person they're wanting. You know?
Yeah, I do get what you mean.
You can't act like an absolute beep head. That's what we'll say. You can't act like that. So I find a middleman is good, and a manager, like you said, it protects you a little bit, and then you can focus on what you enjoy, creating, 100%. Having fun, doing things like that.
Okay, so we're sat here in this epic flat in
from Brighton to London.
The wrong side of London, in my opinion. We have to drive quite a way in East London, but no, making that move. How hard was that? Being saying, okay, I'm in Brighton, like a lot of YouTubers there, very creative, very inspiring actually. To then come to London, like what was that decision? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, FINT, the financial investment app that makes investing so easy, Curtis.
Yes, it does, AJ. It makes it that easy, actually, that I forgot what I was going to say.
All you have to do is choose one of the 3 portfolios, and you can invest from as little as £50 a month, Curtis.
Wait, say that again. All from as little as £50 a month?
£50 a month. Wow. Accessible to everybody.
Everybody.
Back to the pod.
So
Yeah.
I think the thing was, like, I'm so grateful to have been brought up in London. Sorry, in Brighton. He's
a Londoner now.
Psyche actually lived there all his life.
So grateful to have grown up in Brighton because it's such a creative, like incredible, like
It's
place.
cool, right?
Yeah,
It's cool.
really cool, and like especially with I think my music, like being able to just go like you don't need a busking license in Brighton to go out and busk, so you can just go and set up anywhere. Like it's very like just.
Do you
Good
still
for
do
creatives.
busking and stuff?
No, I did it. I started when I was 14, and then I stopped when I was about 17.
Yeah.
So I think I remember it was raining one time. I was at Brighton
Busking
Station.
career
It was just raining, and I'd sung like "Thinking Out Loud" by Ed Sheeran 19 times, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And yeah, that's when I then went in and started doing more of the video stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, so I loved Brighton, loved being there. And because of the job I was doing before with editing for people, I kind of had to be in Brighton. And then, when lockdown happened and I was just in my bedroom editing like my TikToks and I was still doing like work for people as well. It was kind of, I was happy there and it was really good. And like, I loved, like, it was fine living at home. And then when I lived in the house, that was my first time kind of moving out because we were there for a month in the squeaky house, the content house. And I was like, oh, this is wicked. Like living with like friends as opposed to like your family is very different. And it was, just really cool to be surrounded by creative people.
You could do all the things that you shouldn't be doing.
And then, you could make a mess and then tidy it up and no one tell you. And then, London was kind of, I did a lot in London. So if I was writing, like doing writing sessions with other artists, I'd be traveling up here and as kind of like events and stuff like that started happening, I'd just be back and forth so much. Yeah. And then because the last train for Brighton's at about, I think it's like 2 minutes past midnight. So it's always like...
Wow, you've definitely done that journey.
Many times. It was always like finish an event and then it would be run to the station. Yeah. Then by the time you're back, it'd be like 1, 2 a.m. and then get a bus home if they're still running or walk or... Yeah, so it was kind of one of them I was like, I think the time has come to move to London. So my friend George also was looking to move, so the two of us had a look around. Like we came to London, but we just go to like Oxford Street or like something like that.
Into Central, and then back to Brighton.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't know like the areas or anything. So we spent 4 or 5 months just looking at places, and it was just nuts. Then finally found this place, and love it. We've been here about 1.5 years now, I think.
But was that a massive like step for you? Was that quite a big? Well, obviously it's expensive to move to London one side, but also it's like that's a commitment now. You're like, okay, we've made a proper commitment.
100%. Yeah, it was. I think because I'd never moved out as well. I didn't go to uni either, so there were friends that had gone off to uni and had like lived away from home. But it was my first time, and also like. When I first moved to London, I wasn't even 100% sure if I could afford it. Like it was one of those where I was like, every month I'd be like
taking the risk.
Ooh. Did you have to do a set amount of months in the place?
So George was able to pay like some of it up front, and then I pay him back. It was one of those like the first year I was not worried like oh god, but a little bit. I was like, I hope
that was like when I did my flat. I was like, if I didn't get the job the next week, I was screwed.
100%,
a bit panicky now think about it, but I didn't worry at the time. I don't know why.
No, but I think it was definitely like a driving. I was like, I need to just keep working as hard as possible to kind of make this work so that I can live in London. I think also London also brought a lot more opportunities because I was able to actually do more and go places. Because when I was in Brighton, if there was like a pop up or something like that,
the events are more regular.
It would be you'd have like the bus to the station and the train and so it'd be like 4 hours I think there and back,
and that ends up costing quite a bit of money if you're coming back and forwards as well. It's burnt money,
really.
100%.
So now he doesn't see his parents who can't afford to
but I think also
turns into a real sad story actually. There's no happy ending here.
No. But also like, it's that thing of like you meet people where you'd never think you'd meet someone at something. So you might go to something, or like even how me and AJ met. Like
100%. Like we met on a Virgin Voyages cruise. Influencer there.
That's the party cruise, isn't it? Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Me
Actually.
and AJ were cutting shit.
So just one more time, can you show us them shapes?
Cutting shit.
No, I was in one of his TikToks. He was running.
Yeah.
Morgan was like, "Yes, we've been here for what, like 5 days a week? I don't know." And he was like, "Yeah, I haven't done any of the TikToks I was supposed to do." And it got to like the last day. He was like, "So I'm gonna run around the ship, film in each section. Can you just stand here? I'll do a dance with you for 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna run off again." I was like, "Cool, sounds good." Yeah. And then the TikTok
5,
was
6,
sick.
7, 8.
He actually got Richard Branson in the pool.
Because we
Like, it was good.
Because we got invited to this. Yeah, the Virgin Cruise. It was incredible.
The
And then-
launch.
Yeah, and
What was it, Valiant Lady?
the Valiant Lady. That was
Yeah,
it.
that was the one. The ship's name.
Yeah, yeah.
Blimmin' hell.
Yeah, I think
She did great food.
I think we'd heard rumours that Richard Branson was on the ship somewhere.
Yeah, he was on off or something.
Yeah, and we didn't think we'd meet it. Did you?
I didn't meet
You
it.
didn't? Oh,
I think I was eating the food.
oh, because I was with, I can't remember who I was with, but we just heard this like thing over the tannoy being like, "Please, can all staff members come to the deck to get a picture with Richard?" And we're like, "There's only one Richard that they're talking about, surely." So we run up there, and then all of a sudden Richard Branson's on there, and we're just like, "No, this is crazy." And then he like jumps in the pool, starts dancing, and it's just him in the pool.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of like, "Get in, everyone!"
He's chaos.
And, yeah.
He
I was going to
is
say,
like-
what's he like? Yeah.
Oh, so all I did, I just danced next to him and gave him a fist bump. That's it. I don't actually really properly meet him.
Mate.
It's
But
like, somebody film, quick, I need Google.
yeah, but no one was jumping in the pool. So then I was in my head, I was just like, this would do really well on TikTok. So I was like, go. So I just took my shoes off, jumped in. Yeah,
Especially
got
if
the
you decked
clip.
it.
Yeah, imagine. But yeah, just crazy. And then just dancing with him. But yeah, then we did that video, and that's how we met. Yeah, I remember us getting pizza as well together.
Yeah. They do good. Oh, pizza in the night time. Yeah, with the ice cream bar.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that's open after like.
Is
God
that
knows
after
what
a load
time.
of drinking, then a little bit of pizza just to
It was-
sober
yeah,
yourself?
I think it was
all
just
that
pizza
aqua,
anyway.
all that water.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, but no, that was wicked. But yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if I hadn't have done that, but I had the opportunity come up, then we wouldn't have met. We wouldn't be here. Like, we wouldn't have met. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years then? See yourself still in London or maybe America, LA, or?
It's crazy you said that because it does transfer. Like,
Yeah.
when you got a social media platform, to be honest, doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
Like, you can really grow that platform, especially now you've got your followers and even traveling. Like, people are even more addicted to, at a minute, like food and traveling.
Yeah.
People are just like, I can't get enough of it.
And talking about you lived in like the crit houses, LA's full of them all
Yeah,
around that
yeah,
area.
yeah,
So that's
100%.
always a good avenue to go down. A whole new
Yeah.
audience, a whole new everything.
Yeah.
Actually, where is most of your audience actually?
Mainly UK.
UK based,
yeah,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is and I think also like certain social media apps will like geo-target as well, so they'll push your content out to like the area you're in.
Yeah.
So I used to find like when I first started on TikTok, even I'd have like 50,000 followers, but I'd have like kids coming up and be like, "Oh, can we get a picture?" And I was just like, "Oh, what?" But it's because the content was being like pushed out to Brighton. Yeah. But yeah, mainly UK, and then some in like Ireland, a tiny amount in America. But yeah, UK is like predominantly where they are.
Could you see yourself going out to the States?
I've been to New York once, years and years ago, and I loved it. So I'd love to go there more. I don't think I could see myself living there. But I don't know though. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, New York's quite. I don't know. I did like it. It's fast paced, but I prefer the fakeness of LA.
Yeah, have you?
Well,
Because I've never. Is it
yeah.
LA good?
I've been
It's
to LA for the first time. Went last year.
Do you love it?
And loved it.
Amazing,
I love America though.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I think it's very.
Yeah, but the people are so
it's
fake to your face, but I like it. It's like,
spacious.
can I use and abuse you? Yes or no?
But they're
Just
just
no.
so
Well, just get out of my
charismatic
face.
with it though, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and I love the food. You
Yeah.
know, like a small drink out there is like an extra large here. You know,
Yeah.
just get more for your money.
Oh,
sometimes.
portion size, yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I'm a foodie, so it just works well for me. Extra sugar and everything.
Yeah.
I'm actually on a diet at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, I was saying in the lift, you look great. You're looking.
Cheers, man. Thank
Don't
you.
know how to describe it.
I know that's exactly what I did. For anybody that's actually listening and not watching,
Morgan
he's
just like sat
lifted
up
his
and did the
shoulders
muscle
and
man.
arms up and tensed up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, what were we saying?
Nice necklace. Nice pearls.
Yeah. Oh,
Is there any brands? Obviously, you said loads of little brands that you've worked with, little brands, massive brands that you've worked with, like Virgin and this and that. What's your dream brand that you would love to work with?
Do you know,
I'm saying it. Say it here now, so we can manifest it. I believe in manifesting.
Put it
things.
out there.
I do.
I've got. I do have a list of like dream brands I would love to work with. Slowly some of them are being ticked off. So like I did the thing with Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
That was always a big like I'd love.
Did
to
you
have
ask for a
done
badge?
they gave me some pin badges. I know,
nice.
yeah. So I did get it for the collection, and it was wicked as well. I got to take my mum to that as well. My mum loves it as well.
It's just not some sort of maybe a longer term deal that you could get with them or something, you know.
You never know, yeah. Yeah, I think even with
Traveling
my
with them worldwide.
Could you not write a little song about it?
potentially
Do a little song, throw it
Oh my
onto
God,
there,
cameo
speak
them
to
into your song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
That would be
traveling.
cool.
I'm like, oh.
Who did that and got a black card at Nando's?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
He stood on top of the van, didn't he, at the festival?
Yeah. I mean,
That's how he got it.
yeah, but they wrote a song about him and examples. Example.
him an example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nando's Skank. That was it.
Yeah, and then that
Yeah.
got them that pretty much.
Yeah.
So you should throw something like that into
That
one
could
of
be
your
a
songs
shout,
or
yeah.
something, you know, thinking business wise.
Yeah.
And actually could get you that long term deal with them.
You never imagine a whole Rock Cafe
quite a
black
good
card.
one.
That'd be incredible.
That'd be
That
sick.
actually would
Yeah.
be incredible, to be fair.
Yeah, man.
Nando's at all? No?
What, a Nando's black
Yeah.
card? I would love one. I love
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I think that is.
I saw one for the first time last month. Made me very happy.
Well,
you
when
saw one in real life? A Nando's
Yeah.
black card?
did you actually?
No
Rio
way.
Ferdinand's got one.
Oh,
No way.
he does, doesn't he?
You had the rice, and
I-
you didn't even offer me if I wanted anything.
No, you were slightly later than I was to the area,
It's called WhatsApp.
and we just ordered before you got there. I've got no excuses. We forgot.
Oh, yeah, and we love it. We love a ZZ's.
Yeah,
We do.
big up the
Shout
Love a
out
ZZ's. Yeah.
But when you do get that black card, you know, just don't forget about it.
Oh,
you
mate,
know,
cool.
yeah,
Home
yeah.
Rock Cafe every
I
night.
think that's a great idea, though. Simple things like that.
Yeah,
Write it into your song or
100%.
something.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of that.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we have to talk about, like, for example, TikTok, Instagram, like all these social media platforms. There's obviously always going to be social media there for the end of time. I think we can all guarantee
I
that.
would guess it's going to be there for a
It
long
is,
time.
like, it's gonna be
Yeah,
there.
I would say so, yeah.
But is it not a bit fearful, for example, like in the same scenario for us, being self-employed, being that sort of aspect of it's not a business way, I'm going to go buy a bottle of water every single day. That company's going to make money forever. But like waiting for the work to come in. Like, yes, you are actively working and going out there and creating the content, but is it a bit scary? Like, okay, nobody's talked to me this week, month, 2 months, like year.
And
Yeah.
saying one wrong thing can cancel you.
Yeah,
literally,
yeah,
as well,
yeah. I think also like even because Vine was what I had my first like thing on, and then that just shut down.
Yeah.
I like completely went, and there was always that thing of like, could TikTok shut down? Could you like all the apps?
Well,
go?
there was always the talk of it being cancelled in countries, wasn't it? America,
Oh,
the whole
so
lot.
Oh, they
so,
do.
yeah,
They just
yeah.
get sued and change the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think I just go into just focus on what's happening and
Yeah.
just hope that everything will be okay.
Smooth sailing.
I'm just gonna hope it'll be fine. Yeah.
So with them jobs, then you're bringing in that money. Do you think of like putting money into a pension or investing in it or saving? Because obviously you are renting here. Like this place is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. The view is killing
The
me.
view's unbeful, guys. I'm sorry that none of you can actually see the view. It's spectacular.
Oh, we've got the blood. I spent ages cleaning the windows.
Before we got in, Morgan cleaned the windows, and then the sun was so bright. We're like, oh, sorry, we have to shut the blinds.
I was like, I've just spent 10 minutes
But
there.
the windows do look good for your mum. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
when-
yeah.
you're like,
Your mum would be proud.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of investment and stuff like that. Yeah, I've never properly invested or like really know much about it. I have a lot of friends that got into like crypto and NFTs and stuff like that, and a couple of friends also like launched NFT projects. But yeah, I've never properly delved into it, and I probably should. So maybe boys I need to talk to.
I mean, the
Yeah.
NFTs probably weren't the best to dive into. They've all,
No.
they seem to have not made much money.
Yeah.
For
No,
everyone
an
at the
NFT
moment.
as itself, like it's a whole another conversation. The purpose of it is great if you're selling an asset and proof of stake in one aspect, but not for the purpose of a digital thing worth an image worth millions and millions. Like,
Yeah, and everyone that did buy loads of Bitcoin, I say sorry at the
Yeah.
moment, but people do say there's still
no,
the thing is with
Bitcoin's
Bitcoin.
fine. Anyway, this is no conversation.
I know,
That's a whole other podcast.
It really,
that
really is, to be fair. But they say it could hit 105 odd thousand upwards, one Bitcoin. That's what they're saying coming up. Like,
Well, I just listened to We Study Billionaires. Shout out to their podcast. I love them.
yeah,
But yeah, no, they're the one to listen to on that. Not this podcast, that's for sure.
yeah. To be fair, they are. So no investing or anything at the moment. Then
No,
No.
but I probably should.
open your eyes
look
into it.
Yeah, just find out some more about it. Yeah.
Would you invest in an app then? So say you've got an investment app FINT, maybe. We'll talk about our sponsor in a second.
Yeah.
But with 3 different portfolios, would you invest through an app?
Intro there, AJ.
There'll be 3 different portfolios, but fundamentally you're investing into the stock market, SP 500 emerging markets. So all of them big stock names that you know through tech and all that other stuff. Would you feel comfortable doing that on a small monthly basis?
I think because I don't know much about it, I guess the easiest way that I can be explained it and the easiest way you can do something like that is probably the easiest way of
simplicity is the key of what this app is. Simplicity, because I think you just hit the nail on the head. No idea what you're on about. Don't know what this terminology means, don't know what to invest into.
The jargon.
It's a scary world. It is a scary world. People taking your money, you putting it into something that you don't 100% know what's what. And like AJ said, FINT is a sponsor of the app, sponsor of the podcast. It's just a very simple way of making investment easy. Really easy through 3 portfolios. So it's really nice.
I think plus people like always talk about it. Like in your case, like we spoke earlier, like you're renting this place, but in the future you'd want to buy your own place. Like you want to make that move. Like most people, like for me, when I invested, like I saved that money and it was just in the stock market. And then when I wanted it, that was my deposit. When I wanted to purchase a flat, like that's what made sense for me and worked. Because it was like, okay, it's just direct debit. It's going out. I don't know it. Just going to forget about it and just going to slowly build each month and then work for you at the same time.
Yeah, because I wish to be fair, I now do invest in stuff, but I wish I started at the age of 18.
Kurt worked on cruise ships for
Did
years.
you? Yeah,
I did.
Zero tax.
So, cruise ships it's international waters, so it's tax-free money.
Okay.
So for anybody that is out
and
there
still
thinking,
didn't come back with anything.
Yeah, well, the problem is you get cabin fever and end up having to spend all of your money on just random things to keep you entertained. But for anybody out there that does fancy working on a cruise ship, international water, all tax-free money, you can bring it all home. And it is a great way of earning some money and just banking some money to then be able to start something off for anybody out there.
Kurt didn't bank anything though.
No, I banked absolutely hardly anything.
Wow. How long were you
I did. So I did 6 months. I did 4 weeks off, and then I was meant to do another 6 months.
Yeah.
But I actually had a bit of an accident on the ship.
Oh no.
At the start of one of the dance shows, I slid across the floor.
No.
Can't make it to the toilet. I slid across the floor and dislocated my knee. So I popped it back in, and it was because it was at the start of the show. Popped it back in, danced the whole rest of the show, and tore all my cartilage. So then I got medically disembarked. Another great thing though, if you injure yourself on a cruise ship, they pay for everything.
Oh wow!
So you don't have to worry about everything. All private, all done for.
Wow.
So just anybody that is thinking of the cruise ship, I would say give it a go.
Factual for you over here. I like it. Informative.
Yeah, but you do turn into an alcoholic. That's the only downfall, but we won't talk about that side of it.
Okay, moving on. No. So Morgan, like you've kind of built up that audience that love you through TikTok and other social media platforms. Like you now interviewing like kind of what I'd class more as mainstream TV personalities. Like what TV show are we going to see you on next?
Oh, good one.
What's the one? Because you were talking to people on like Celebs Go Dating. Surely you could be on there as the celeb. Like, people want to see you.
There's one problem with that, AJ, is that I'm not a celebrity.
Yeah, but I disagree. What defines it?
Well, definition of a celebrity supposedly is people know you. A lot of people know you. That's all a celebrity is.
Yeah, you
have a big
audience.
fan base. You've got an active fan base as well. You do some great content and stuff. There is an audience out there that would know you and watch it for you on there.
Yeah.
So don't call yourself not a celebrity.
I don't know. I think, I've loved it because, I did like interviews last night with all the new cast and like the team as well. The production team are amazing and everyone at Lime. But like, how did you find it when you were on there? Like,
I did it in a very unique time. So I did through lockdown. Truthfully, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Only be... You're going to say awful.
Yeah, no, truthfully it was awesome. Yeah.
You got you holding you on the edge of the seat there. No, it was awesome. We did it in lockdown, so we couldn't see anybody. We couldn't be talking to anybody. So to be able to go into £30 million mansion with a load of people and actually be able to hug them, touch them, even kiss them if you got intimately together.
Yeah.
It was such... but like just the normal, natural things of living. It was so nice to be able to do it. And I think that's why I had such a good time. And we did it all where we had to isolate and stay together. So it was more like, I want to say, a Love Island element to it in a way. You're all just stuck in the house together. So
we became a version of Love Island.
Really, it was just another version of Love Island.
Love Island in a mansion. The British Love Island.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Pays great as well, so I can't complain.
the modern Downton Abbey.
But it was nice because you got to know each other so well, and I made true friends from it. I really did. Like people like Wayne Lineker, Tom Zanetti.
Yeah, amazing.
Like we're best friends now.
Yeah,
so I did enjoy it.
Yeah. And how was it in comparison to like when you did Love Island? And it's the same sort of thing of you're being filmed constantly. Was it?
No, it was slightly different.
Different, yeah.
At Love Island, you can't use your phones. We're not allowed to know the time. It really is. You're only allowed to talk about what's going on in the villa. Yeah, that's it. Where the celebs go dating, we had free time. We could go on a phone every now and again. We could. We had the celebs room and then the non-celebs room. That sounds really bad. I hate saying that. But we had the celebs room, the non-celebs room, and the non-celebs weren't allowed in the celebs room, but us celebs were allowed in the non-celebs room.
Okay.
So we could actually have 10, 15 minutes on our own if we wanted. We could chill out. We could relax a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice and freelance, really, doing those celebs go dating.
So you get like time to yourself as well and chill.
Yeah. And I think how it's normally filmed, that you're just out and about in your own home and you meet up and go to a place. So you really have a lot more free time for yourself.
Is very different, isn't it? Yeah. But I think it's quite interesting, like when you do them shows, like when you're in bed shooters, like there's cameras everywhere, you film 24/7.
Yeah.
You do forget about it straight away.
I feel you're aware of the cameras being there all the time, but I just
like when I did SAS, I was like,
the SAS.
2 hours in, I was like,
oh no, the SAS ones I didn't remember the cameras whatsoever.
I'm zapped. I don't care if anybody's filming.
No, amen. SAS didn't remember any of the cameras, but Love Island, things like that, they were everywhere. No matter where you looked, there was a camera, and the thing is, you could hear them go. Zzz,
really,
so you know if they were moving on to you.
On I'm a Celeb, you had that. Zzz.
The castle,
or people would eat like crisps behind the scenes. You're like, I can smell them crisps. Like, how dare you? Leave.
See, they'll all be thinking, I'm going to open this Walker's. I'm really getting me. And then ready salted. They've got it.
Oh my God, if they come to you for an advert, that's the one thing. Do a fake I'm a Celeb and like have the crunch of the noise and then like put a star in the room.
Idea.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
But like with you, like
we'll even join in for the right price.
Yeah, being in the castle smelling salmon sandwich. Oh, Curtis is back.
Literally.
Right, we've got to elaborate more. Like you've just thrown me right under the bus. I like salmon, all right, guys.
Curtis turns up to these random shoot days and like he's like, I need to eat at a certain time. Turns up with like a bloody salmon bowl. Like fish is not a thing you should eat in public like that.
Especially not when it's been in the warm weather for a while.
we were in it, and then he's like, "Do you mind if I have a salmon sandwich?" I was like, "Yeah, go for it." Then AJ's like, "Mate, you do this all the time."
Somebody's gonna say no. Hopefully one day.
Mate, I didn't mind, bro. You can't smell it now, or at the time. It's fine.
Good. Anyway, the point of what I was going to try and say was, how do you feel on social media? Your eyes are on you, but you're able to control the edit. You're able to control what is actually being put out there from your point of view. Does that make you feel comfortable? Like, how do you feel? I don't feel like you get much criticism, to be honest. Like, your stuff's always very positive, and like we spoke earlier, like you're always quite conscious of like your audience being family friendly. So I think that puts you in like a really good stead.
Yeah, 100. I think so. When it comes to like the kind of edit of my stuff, like I think that's probably where most of my talent is in editing, because I've done it for so long. And like with the story videos I'll do, like it's kind of, I'll have all my clips, it's the arranging of it and how can I use the voiceover to enhance bits of it and kind of really create that story. So I guess some of my videos will take like 7-8 hours to edit for like a 30-second TikTok. But yeah, and then in terms of criticism, like I've never had like a crazy amount of like hate online, apart from there was when I went to the James Bond premiere, they had one of those like 360
camera ones,
camera booths. Yeah, 100%. They had one of those, so I did it with my friend Felicity that I've gone with, and we did the whole like pointing, got the clip, and it looked wicked. So the next day, I just posted the clip up on TikTok. And I was like, yo, like, check out how cool this looked. Just like a really cool clip of this James Bond thing. And then it got like 100,000 views. I was like, that's done really well. And then comments slowly started to come, just like commenting on like my appearance and like saying I was overweight. But it kind of turned into this like competition of like who could come up with the best James Bond fat joke. So the top comment was like, no, they were creative and funny.
That's a great way how you take it though. You take it in a good way then.
So they put some time and effort.
The thing, I started reading them at first and I was like, this is very savage. Like, this is not. So like, I think, so it was No Time to Die. So it was like No Time to Dine. It was like Casino Royale, more like Chicken Royale. It was, what other ones were there?
No Time to Die.
Yeah, it was like, man with the golden gut, stuff like that. And it was all these like James Bond like fat comments, and I just kind of left it and I was like, I just won't look at them. Like they're not, it's more of like a funny thing, I think. But then these comments just got more and more and more, and the video starts getting pushed. And then because the comments are so like horrendous and also kind of funny, people are sending it to their friends, being like, look at the comments. This video blew up to 4 million views on TikTok. 10,000 comments, all just like basically commented on my weight in like James Bond pun form. And I just watched it, and it didn't really affect me at first. But then because there were so many, I was just like, that's a lot of comments. And
that's a lot.
Yeah.
People jump on the bandwagon there.
Exactly, 100%. But the thing was, I get from the consumer, they were just like, oh, that's funny. Like, let me just put a comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I wasn't sure whether to like make another video addressing it, because I didn't want to like, add fuel to the fire or encourage it. And I was just like, I'll leave it. And then I got sent this video, and somebody had screen recorded my video with the comments and just posted that as its own TikTok. And that video had like 250,000 views. So I was like, right, I'm going to say something about this. I'm going to make a video. So I thought...
So I'm capitalising on this.
I was like, I just thought I should say something about it, because it was just getting so much bigger and out of proportion. So I just made this video, and I was like, I went to James Bond premiere, like got 10,000 negative comments. And then I was like, I'm going to read some of them. And I basically just read them and just laughed at them because they were funny. But I was like...
Like, was it Saturday Night Live in America when the celebrities read out bad comments?
Yeah.
Like, you are an awful person.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, 100%. And I just laughed at it because they were really creative and really funny. And then at the end, I just finished it with like guys, like, I can take this as a joke. It's really funny. But other people, like, if these comments were on somebody else's video, they may not be able to take it like that. So I was just like, please, like, think before you comment and just be kind with it.
Well, man, I'm sorry that happened, but it's a good way how you talk
100%,
it. And I think as
he
well.
He didn't say that his second video was sponsored by and he got paid.
Yeah. But it was great, and I think that video like reached the same people that commented, and I got messages.
I think the one thing that's nice, like you fundamentally, like, millions of people, insane amount of comments, like for the wrong reasons, but then you are actually using that to hit the exact same audience that is actually insulting you and being like, actually no, think about your words. Yeah. And you hit the exact same audience. To actually do that is it.
But you've done it in a way where they're not going to argue back.
No, they're actually going to, like, you know, when somebody says to you, oh, that's not very nice, but I'm just disappointed in you. It's kind of like that's it hits home a little bit. Just disappointed. Yeah, and that's what you've done in the best possible way.
Yeah, and I got a message from the guy that had the top comment on Instagram, being like, "Hey mate, like I put this comment up. Really sorry, I didn't realise. I just thought it was a joke." Yeah. He's like, taking it down, and then it was amazing. And then you know Jay Shetty.
No, who's that?
Oh, he's like incredible, like, speaker. He's got a really big podcast. And then I got sent a clip, and he'd been
look after.
Yeah, he'd been talking about my video and like my response on his podcast as well, so it reached like even more people. And then I think my response got like 3 million views. So yeah, it was just nuts, and I think I managed to turn something that was
turn a negative to a massive positive. A little bit,
just was able to kind of just, I think, put a positive message.
So many people like there, just thinking about, like, even when Curtis did Love Island, the amount of like threats that it was just insane. And like for me, I was just like, okay, but like, it affects the people around you also. So like, you're the one that's being attacked at the end of the day, unfortunately. Yeah. But your friends and your family see that, and they get harm as much as you do, if not more sometimes. They feel like they can't really help. Yeah, it's like a helpless scenario.
Yeah, I got fat shamed everything when I was on Love Island and stuff. I got fat shamed by mainstream media.
The Sun newspaper. You made a 2-page article in the Sun newspaper about ordering extra
Did put
clothes.
2.5 stone on in weight in the village, and I did enjoy the cheesecake.
I love it. I think I saw it because I was watching some of your podcast bits. So I think because you know the bit where you come out like King Julian doing the dancing,
looking like King Julian from Madagascar.
Unbelievable, mate. It was the way as well. It was slow mode, and like, so you're like.
I know. I stopped moving, but my belly kept. You know what I'm gonna say? Yes.
Yeah. But it was so
so true, man.
But I think you said you're like they're giving you costumes, but then you were struggling to fit in or something.
Man, they were very small, but I did put a lot of weight on. So we got care packages throughout the program. So you get like some shorts, some tops, some different things. So
I've got something to tell you after this, Mitchell.
But I just had to. I started off with a large care package, and I just ended up with an extra large care package.
And the food was good in there, really good. Yeah,
great food. It was a cheesecake, man. I'm a sucker for cheesecake. Yeah, it got to me. The producers came to me at the end.
Not even an advert.
Salmon cheesecake.
No, I mean, I'd try it, but I'm more of a white chocolate strawberry man. But no, producers came to it at the end, and they said, they sat me down and they said, Curtis, you do realise no one's ever eaten as much cheesecake as you before. We had to count it sometimes because they have to keep an eye on you for all reasons. And they said sometimes you're having 5 to 6 slices of cheesecake with each meal.
What, you're saying they were going to bill you afterwards?
I was like, yeah, I know they were thinking, this guy's ate us dry. Yeah, we used to make money, but now we don't. Yeah, and I was like, I just love my cheesecake. Yeah, they got really worried about me and everything.
Yeah,
Did you say to the producer of Love Island, I like my cheesecake?
I did.
I
said, sorry. I was like, I'm on holiday. I love my cheesecake. What can I say? Secretly, I was just stress eating. No.
Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, FINT, the financial investment app. Because, don't overcomplicate it, it's so easy, isn't it?
It really is. Download the app, 3 portfolios to choose from, get investing.
And from as little as £50 a month. Obviously, you can do a bit more.
£50 a month, that it?
That's it, Curtis. As little as that.
It's a bargain.
What I was going to say was, I was going on Instagram earlier because I was just like, have a look over your stuff before I see you. And then, Curtis, I went on your Instagram.
Oh, God.
And no. I checked our DMs because I was like, I wonder if I've ever messaged Curtis. And I thought you won't have seen this.
Curtis will
I'm going to look after now.
No, I'll show you right now. So I mentioned you in a story in 2019, right? And you wore the same shirt in the villa that I did. And I put it on my story and put oi oi.
That came in a care package.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. So yeah, there you go. I'll send it to you.
Send us that. We'll
But yeah,
put that in.
I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah, that came in a care package.
Yeah.
I think I threw that shirt away straight after.
Bro, I got it from a charity shop. So I got yours.
Yeah. Wait, that one was mine. Yeah.
I thought it smelled salmon cheesecake.
God. I don't love salmon that much, guys, but it's great. It's great for your eyes, brain, and health. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't think I've ever probably tried.
But actually, talk about like getting fat shamed. Talk about getting fat shamed on Love Island and stuff, though. Turned into a massive positive for me.
Oh, really?
I ended up coming off there and getting a massive WW, which was Weight Watchers Reimagined.
Okay.
So I ended up getting a massive contract with them, big years contract, and to everyone that did fat shame me the papers, thank you. That's all I can say because it lucratively it did fantastic for me. Yeah. And I lost some weight after as well.
Cheesecake.
yeah, it did.
It did.
No, I think it's really hard because, like, in our industry, like, people feel like they own you in sort of aspect, and especially on social media where that you feel like you can say whatever you want and it's there in black and white. It's not even like a thought process, but it's like you kind of laugh at a certain point, like, and then you're like, actually, no, it does hurt. And I think sometimes, like, you have thousands of positive comments. You do remember that negative comment. Like, it's human nature. And I just think, like, in our day and age, like, yes, it is that cancel culture in certain aspects. Yeah, we want freedom of speech, but when it's just, like, straightforward, just abuse, you're like, well, what's the point? That's a lot of effort to pick your phone up, write something.
Yeah.
They physically do it for a reaction.
Yeah.
I think in your scenario, like, if somebody's put some time and effort into it, I'd be like, okay, put some time and effort into
I
it.
think it's like if what had happened to you, but it was only a couple of negative comments.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have ever really done a video back, and you wouldn't have ever bothered whatsoever.
I just
would
read
you?
them and
So
just,
yeah,
but I think it was just that snowball thing.
What actually, we should have asked at the start of the podcast. But what type of person are you? What would you describe yourself as? Actually?
What's your star sign?
Yeah. Capricorn.
This is your love
apples
and long walks on the beach. What type of person? As in what? As in like
just isn't that what you say your friends would say you are? Because us meeting
Kurt's
you,
never
seem
done
like,
this on any podcast.
No, you seem like a bubbly, good, really nice person
He's
to be
inviting you
around.
to salmon dinner now.
I know. Fancy coming out for dinner one time. No, a great place. Yeah. Down by the harbour. Yeah, freshly caught.
I guess I don't know. I think I'm quite a positive person, as in I try and see the positive in everything. I don't know. I think like fairly hardworking. Like I try and just, if I'm going to do something, I'll just try and do it. I feel like it's a job interview.
I've never seen Morgan in a scenario where he's got nothing to say. He's like,
Morgan just, I felt like in his head he's just put a suit and tie on. And he's just
I'm like, I think I'll be great for your company. I can really bring a lot to you.
When we, oh my God, when we ask... when this podcast comes out, I'm going to do this as a deal. I'm going to ask Morgan to do an advert for FINT.
Yes. I want to see what you'd come up with. Yeah.
I'm actually going to do this.
Yeah. What's your price?
You have to talk to my manager.
Yes. I love that. But that is a great read because sometimes as well, like obviously when you were saying earlier, you didn't know what prices you should be charging and stuff as an actual person, and that's where a manager really does come in and they can push up that price to the maximum.
No, this is like the scenario when we were children. We were both auctions for the same handbag for our mum, and Kurt was outbidding me, and I'm like, it's going to the same person, Kurt.
On eBay, you're both bidding for the same
item. And I was like, Kurt, it's not the way it works. You're putting me off. This is supposed to be a friendly video. This is like a slide on the hand. That's why we drove to Morgan. We paid for the parking. It's costing him nothing. We brought the equipment.
We did go to an auction, and this is before Love Island, before anything. I had no money whatsoever, actually. This was really not a smart move, and I'd just been paid £500 to do a dance demonstration between me and my partner. So it was a nice amount of money at the time. I was like, wow, this is fantastic and stuff. And it's a charity auction, and there was a pair of boxing gloves going on up for the auction, and no one was bidding. And I thought, I'll just try and raise the bid a little bit. So I literally had £500 to my name, and I'd just been paid it in cash there from doing it.
No, you take it in because 50%. There's two partners. You had 250.
Yeah, you tell me I had 250.
Yeah. You're already. This is why there's an app happening because I save money and Kurt doesn't. So you're 250 already in debt if you get this.
And then I tried to raise a bid and went 500. Nobody else bid. That was it. I was broke straight after that. I ended up having to pay for it all.
Was that the asking price they were asking for 500, or you just went in with?
No, they were asking for about 450, and I went 500 for it, and then nobody else bid.
Wow. Yeah. Do you still have the boxing gloves?
I do.
Yeah, it does because he didn't check. They're not actually validated and signed.
So they said
and authenticated.
Who were they signed by?
Supposedly signed by
Sugar Ray Leonard.
But there was no documentation, so they're worth zero.
Yes, yeah. And that's why we are now joining with FINT, yes. Because I have now learned about money and how money is important. And how you can make money work for you. That's the thing.
Oh, Curtis.
In smart
stressful.
ways.
It's giving me a heart palpitations thinking about it. You know, I don't sweat when I hear stories like that. I sweat.
And on that depressing point, we'll end it there. On smiles, and Curtis losing all his money. Thank God I finally eventually made a little bit more money now, and it's not too bad. I can't complain. Actually, Morgan, I wanted to ask because I know that this place that you've got now. Do you see yourself living in London now for the future being really? Just think this is your hometown now?
What, you need a flatmate?
Yeah, because I've just bought some of the boxing gloves.
He's got a room. He can rent it out to you.
Yeah, you're doing good, Morgan.
Very good price.
I think so. I think I love London, but it is. I think also it's that thing of like, everyone tells you it's so fast paced, and I think people would tell me that, and I'd be like, yeah, but I thought I loved it, and then I think the first year it was fine, but I think like I was in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival last week, not in it. I just went to go and see some shows.
Because when you put that online, I thought, when's your video coming up? When's your stand up?
No,
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, like just being up in Edinburgh, and just Scotland. I stayed at my friend Callum's house, and I was with my friend Stephen, and it's just so everything's so much slower, and I could my headspace I could properly think about things, and I just felt so much more clear headed. And then it was kind of as soon as I got back to London, got into King's Cross, it was straight away. And I've got friends up in Worcester, like my friend Ben and Jake and Ben, and I love seeing them up there as well because it's just so mellow and chilled and still creative, but just a lot chilled. So I think definitely staying in London for the time being foreseeable, but we'll never know where else we'll go. Yeah.
Okay, this is one question I want to ask you. If you were gonna set up a business now and sell a product, what do you think you could sell to your demographic, your audience out there? What would that piece of equipment be? Or
that's a great question.
He's like, could you have asked me this before we started the record?
No, let me think. I think the thing as well with my content, I don't particularly fit into a big like a small niche.
Yes,
so a lot of creators will be either like dance or art or whatever. But mine, I do a bit of cooking, I do some lifestyle, I do a bit of fashion, then I'll dance with Richard Branson, I do whatever. So it's kind of all over the place. So I guess what would need to think of something that all of my kind of community, people that follow me, something that would reach all of them.
Could it be something like
maybe
possibly like an editing?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna think. Like
an
we're talking about
template
AI, all of them
yeah.
edits that are coming out. Like
Yeah.
you spend, like as you said, 8 hours a day. Yes, the AI is never perfect, but sometimes it pops up somebody like actually it's pretty good. I can use half of this.
Yeah.
Like you shoot a long form video and you type in, I want it to be like dark, mysterious, and then it does the soundtrack behind it. The edit, the text over it is like towards Dracula, sort of Halloweeny stuff, like something that can produce that content for you. Is that something that you think like would be, because then that's
100%.
everybody, that's even wider audience.
Yeah, I saw also there was some like the AI video editing where it will just cut up the bits in between and do all the like like clips for podcasts and stuff, all of that. I mean, yeah, stuff like that's incredible. But then also I don't know if my audience is like creators that make videos or if they just kind of consume it. So
enjoy watching.
I guess it would have to be sort of some sort of product that, I'm not entirely sure.
Do you ever actually? I haven't seen it, so I don't think you do behind the scenes of like how you create your videos.
I don't
time lapse for 8 hours.
Yeah, me just sat on laptop.
No, I don't mean of the edit. I mean like
no.
of how you like film it, because obviously like you, when you were doing, for example, the Snickers one, it was you in the toilet and it was you outside the toilet. So do you ever like film how you're filming
I don't
it?
think I have. I've done behind the scenes of like my music before, and I've shown like breaking down the individual tracks and how we kind of put songs together. But I've never done,
because I do find it. I find it very interesting to watch stuff like that sometimes. I love watching the end product, but then I'm like, how did they do the end product?
Yeah.
So I think that's a
that
good
could be a great shout. Yeah, especially because I think as well, I used to watch like videographers and like creators, and when you can see their process and find out how they work, and just anyone actually that inspires you, if you can find out how they work, and it's just so like interesting. I think we had a conversation about how you work, and you were saying like get up at 7 a.m. It's like like get so much
time
done.
scale and like personal side, like how you deal with your day, and especially when you are self-employed, like you have to be self-motivated, because if you don't edit, if you don't get up, if you don't film the content, like it's not going out, not getting paid, straightforward. Like, and I think that's one thing that I think people in a 9-to-5 job that have been told arrive at this time, go to the office, do the job, that's one thing, but to be self-motivated to do it, it's so, people just don't talk about it, but actually within our industry, like it's the only thing that keeps us going. Like
100%.
If you're not, it doesn't happen.
I feel like AJ's very like wake up early, and then me and you are very much more like chaotic up till like 3 a.m. like Okay,
no,
freelance, charismatic.
Talking about something that you've got to be like, you've got this next single coming out, like you've had to the process of writing that song, and then obviously you take it to I'm not a musician so well, your keyboard, you're like working out, or the guitar, your chords, like what's the melody going to be, and then you produce it. Like, how does a process like that work?
So the process for the new single was or just any of them was kind of like I'd write it like on the guitar and kind of doing the melody lines and vocals at the same time, so I kind of write the whole song. And then it's like my first single, that's how it worked. So just wrote it, and then I found a guy called Callum, who's like incredible producer, was in a band called Limo that did really well. I went to his place, like his like home studio. We just worked on like a little demo that I'd done and put production around it, and then just kind of built it up, and then from there it was like sent it off for mixing, mastering. So that was that kind of process. But I think the kind of like songwriting and production process can work in so many different ways. Like sometimes you can be like sent like a beat or something and you write the top line over it, and especially I've been loving doing like writing sessions as well, so being put in a room with like multiple,
you do that with other artists,
exactly, and just like hearing the like collaborative idea. I love collaboration on like stuff, so I think when you can do something as a team, and it's just so much more, you can get to the, I don't know, you just see it evolve. It's just really nice. So that's kind of how that works. And then so you got the song, it's then kind of like, right, what can I do to make this do well on TikTok and stuff like that. So then kind of thinking of like video ideas I want to do and how I can kind of like share the news of the song with my audience. So that's kind of the next step then, when it kind of gets like, how are we going to get people to hear about this song kind of vibe.
That's cool. No, I like that.
Would you say TikTok really helped like fund into your music career?
100%.
Has that taken a big step and really helped out?
So you reinvest within yourself a lot?
Yeah,
so you do invest?
Yeah,
in yourself?
I guess so. I guess so. But it's like TikTok's been such a massive help with my music. Like the first single, I'd never put stuff on Spotify before, and like getting all these views, like you look at the analytics of a week and you're like, I've got a couple million views here, like how many people are gonna listen to my song, and I didn't realize it was a lot harder to kind of get an audience from one place over to another. And also I didn't realize how many people use so many different, like, how do you guys listen to music? Do you use like Spotify or like Apple?
I'm a Spotify guy.
Spotify probably, yeah.
So we're all Spotify.
Or YouTube every now and again.
Yeah.
If I can't sometimes find a song,
Podcast,
I'll
Spotify.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I can type in the lyric and then it'll come up with a song.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many people use like SoundCloud as their predominant, and and they pay for like SoundCloud Premium and Apple Music and everything. Yeah, it really. I think my first single coming out was like a bit of a learning curve of what to do for the next single, and then the next single was just incredible. Like it did really well in Indonesia, and blew up. I think there was 500,000 views on TikTok, like of people making videos with the sound, which was cool. Crazy. And then
Would you release one through TikTok then?
Yes, yeah. So it was went through TikTok, and then because you've got the sounds on TikTok as well that people can use, so like pushing people to use the video on there, and then it was just wicked. And then the Spotify kind of people were going over and streaming, and it hit like Discover Weekly, and it's just crazy. Like the last one did really, really well. So then hopefully this new one will do okay. I have to play it to you. I have to see what you think.
Play it. Because honestly, we're listening to some of your music coming up, and it's cracking.
Is it the one that I heard when we were at 180?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
it's pretty good.
Ooh,
I was like vibing to it.
It's a lot more summery tune.
When's it coming out?
Hopefully September. But it's still it's very
we'll see.
Final process, but hopefully it'll be out.
They're still working on it.
I want to ask you one last thing. I want to ask a bit of advice for anybody that wants to get themselves into the TikTok world, anybody that wants to get themselves into that social media world. Yeah. What advice would you give them? And also, what advice would you give somebody that wants to move to the big city, seeing as though you've done it yourself?
Yeah, I think just in terms of like starting TikTok, I think just trying it and just doing it is the most important thing, because like, I do get messages from people that like either don't really create content yet, but they want to, or they create on like different, like they do long form YouTube videos, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, what's the tips? Like they, as opposed to just trying it and seeing what works. So I think that's and like when I first started as well, like I just threw up like I was just throwing up everything. I threw up a video of me bowling and getting a strike, and that did like 100,000 views on TikTok. and I was looking at that, and then this cover that I'd spent like hours on, and I was like, something's happening. I was like, I don't know. But it was just, I think just trying to just throwing yourself in and just
do it,
giving it your best shot, just trying and see what happens. And it will evolve. Do you know what I mean? Like after you post your first 50 TikToks, then you'll start to develop a style and
you'll find your way.
100%. Yeah.
So what is your? I know what my favorite TikTok of yours is. Kurt, by sounds of it, says Snickers.
It's a cracking one. It's funny.
But
it's food as well.
What's your favorite TikTok that you've produced video? It doesn't have to be for brand or whatever. Like, for what reason as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. There was one where I flew over to Mallorca to be on Hollyoaks, which was a good one.
Guys, we won't be on Hollyoaks.
I did
viral clips on Hollyoaks. You have to do hard to beat this one. Kurt did like 100 million views in India for one of his clips. Hey Trish.
Don't hate me because you ain't me, baby.
But I did this video where I basically flew over and like snuck onto the set of Hollyoaks. That was a really fun one. And then
I remember that one. That was
and I was like
as an extra in the back.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. What other one's my favorite? Like the Squid Game one was really fun. That was a really good one.
Were you going to actually cut that cookie out?
Yeah, we were going to try and eat it. And
like do it as though how it's done in like Squid Games, you know, like scratch it out.
We had the circle. I think that was the plan, but we just picked it up to get that final shot, and then it just broke. I know.
Okay, my favorite one of yours is this one's probably a bit deeper, a bit more heartfelt. You went around London and you were giving flowers like to guys.
Yeah.
And the response you got from some people like, they were like in their 50s, 60s.
Well, men never get flowers.
The first flowers that they'd ever received. And if that's not saying something about stereotypical like men-women scenario, like it was emotional to see that.
Yeah.
I was like, to think about when we do dance competitions, and the women would get flowers and we'd get... Sure.
Come on, people. Us guys need flowers.
We like flowers too.
Show the love.
Yeah, because I saw that stat, which I think was it was like 90% of men
receive flowers at their funeral.
Never receive flowers until, and the first time they do is at their funeral. And
then,
then,
it was like really, it was a deep meaning.
I think I saw it on Pinterest, and then I just had the idea to do like a public video of just going out. So I just went to Shoreditch, and just tried to give out flowers to men. It was really sweet, and then made the video. Like I was really proud of it. I just thought it'd be just a nice like thing to do, just spread the word, like buy flowers for like your boyfriend or whatever. And then the video I put it out, and it had amazing response. And I think it got like 30,000 views. I was like, that's amazing, like wicked, that's done really well. And then people started commenting and tagging their friends, going, "Oh, it's Mr. Sani," on all these things. And I was like, what's going on here? No idea. And it turns out that one of the men in it that I giving flowers to is a school teacher in Croydon. And all of these
Croydon
school kids, all of these school kids are seeing this video, sending it to their friends, going, "Oh, that's our teacher." And then because of that, the video blew up and got like 1 million views. So thanks to Mr. Sardi for whatever school that was. It was. That's so.
So actually, it seems
Croydon massive. They do have a cult following. Croydon are on it.
Talking about like the whole TikTok algorithm and stuff, it seems to be. Get comments.
That's why I would say to the podcast at the end, I'm like, please leave a comment, like because it helps.
Comment and tag people in type thing, and that really that seems to make videos blow up.
So you think comment on your own post.
Create a little bots to comment. No, but that seems to create a video that you could get comments.
I think
have that in your mind to try and do.
Anything where you can create like a discussion is always like really cool. And it is. Also, there's like a thing with some TikToks. If someone says like pronounces something wrong. Or I don't know, it's like say you're making a video about like chocolate and you're like, oh, like a cooking video. You're like, I'll get your chocolate, or like you just like chocolate or something.
Watermelon,
microwave. Exactly. You'll get loads of comments from people being like, I can't believe you did this. And people sometimes on TikTok as well will use like they'll say a country and then use the wrong flag like on purpose, knowing that people then comment and go, that's not the right flag, it's this one. But they've done it on purpose just to get more comments on the thing. So
to be controversial. Is it sad that you know that if your video is more controversial or maybe a bit more depressing or something bad, that you know it's going to get more views?
I don't know. Because also I do find that sometimes you will just put something up that you wouldn't have thought it would have done well, and it will just do well. So I think it really does. Just depend. And also, I think making...
I can't wait for our controversial financial investment app video. What we're going to do. That he's already agreed to on the podcast. But he's laughing, but he's like, I haven't heard yes yet.
His manager will be thinking, damn, why did he do that?
And I think like any...
Dinner's zombie.
I think, anytime something's trending as well and you make a video about that, or like when you do something that people want to see, or if you do something that you wouldn't expect, so like I don't know, when you see like a celebrity doing something that you wouldn't expect them to do on TikTok, that always does well. If you're recreating like moments or I don't know, and like if you were to like recreate your like Love Island scenes, they would bang on TikTok. They do so well.
I think they possibly would.
And same with like audios from you in the castle and like and
well, if you fancy recreating one, we can do it one.
Mate, I would love to. Can we? That would be so fun.
Julian's coming out.
Oh mate, imagine that would be there was so many uncommon. Also, your series Love Island was like, I swear, the best series ever.
It's insane.
It was
you had the most minutes any Love Islander has ever had on that show.
Really? Yeah.
For all the crazy wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I've not watched it back. I didn't watch my series.
You never watched it?
No, I didn't watch Love Island before going on it. I didn't quite know what I'd got myself into. I had an idea of the premise of the show and stuff, but I didn't quite know what I'd got myself into. It's a cracking show. It's great fun, like a once-in-a-lifetime style opportunity. But I've not watched it back. Apparently I did some... All of my memes, which are out there, were like what you just said before. I never expected in my life for any of them to become memes. Didn't expect any of it. Would have never ever thought it.
We did on the outside.
Really?
Because I said the things legitimately I meant what I said in a way.
Yeah, it's half of them are brutally honest.
I love my favourite. I hope you know what I was saying. It was the one where you're sad and you're like, I also like to be the one that makes everyone a coffee in the morning. Like, it's just so good.
Genuinely meant it as well. We're so tired in that you don't go to bed till so late and you wake up so early. It genuinely meant I just wanted to get everyone up and ready for the day.
We saw.
100%.
My face was deadpan when I was speaking to it. Me and Amy are friends now. So I can happily talk about it. But
I think that's getting like if you wake up and you giving you a coffee, that's spot on. Getting the filler ready
and everyone's orders.
It's Do you make a good coffee? Is that
I can make a good coffee.
Wow.
If I put my time and effort into
it.
Yeah,
Sick.
Yeah, if you're making an instant one, never put the water in first. You need to put a bit of milk in.
Oh, interesting.
Just because you don't want to burn the coffee beans, otherwise you get that bitter taste at the end.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who makes a better coffee out of you two?
Absolutely me.
I wouldn't know because Kurt's never made me a coffee.
Oh.
I have once, I think. I think.
I think we should wrap it up there before it gets proper like family affair.
Yeah. We'll get the boxing gloves out.
The signed one.
Could be fake, yeah.
No, they definitely sound fake.
Yeah.
Well, Morgan, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, man. Honestly, it's been awesome
brilliant.
to chat to you, and it's been
Thank
great
you so much for having me.
to get
We'll
an
have to
insight
do it
into
again in
life.
the future, and I'm sure you'll have some crazy brand deals and some other.
Well, on your
crazy stuff
music
next
career,
year.
that'll be
Music
kicking off.
kicking off.
Yeah.
You got a new song coming out, so make sure everyone listens to that and listen to all your other tunes and send them on, share them on to everyone. Just the good music.
If you want to do a
Enjoy
shout
it.
out to your channels, this is the time.
Yeah,
Morgan.
yeah.
Take it away. Where can we find you?
It's Morgan M James on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, everywhere. Just Morgan M James. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
His face pops up. You'll find it.
Like that.
Yeah, check 'em out, guys.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's been wicked. This has been so sick.
No, thank you.
It's all good, man.
I can't
It's
wait to see the advert that I'll send the assets through.
He said that 7 times now. You've got to believe it.
Do you know what? I'll make the advert if we can recreate the coffee video.
Sorted.
Deal done on the podcast. That's the first deal we've done on the podcast. I like that.
Yeah. We should do more deals on the podcast.
Yeah, because they have no choice but to actually. They feel pressure to say yeah, and then the managers aren't here, so they have
Okay,
to.
just before, we'll take a little moment to thank our sponsor. It is FINT, the financial investment app. So investing made easy. Morgan, I know you will get the app and invest because we're just going to force you.
Yeah, it's for anybody it's for everybody. But I mean, if you don't know anything about investing, it's the app for you.
Plus, there'll be lots of education on all social media to talk about all the sides of investing and just simple things like, Kurz, how to get your
National insurance number.
I don't know why you just like to say that.
Yeah, well, it's because it was a number, truthfully, that we've had to have for a lot of different things now because we've done stuff in
that you
different
can never
countries.
find.
And the first time I ever had to get it, if I didn't have my mum, I would have never had it. I had no idea what it was, how to get it, or even where it even was. I just didn't know this thing even existed. And I finally do now, so that's good. But I wish I did back then. And if somebody had just told me, like if I didn't have my mum, if there's someone out there that is living on their own and stuff, this is just a way of people finding out how to do it.
Yeah, so honestly, thank you so much for listening. You can please leave a comment below because it helps find the podcast on all them little algorithms we spoke about today, that's for sure.
Comment, like, subscribe, share it out to your friends, and we hope you enjoyed, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on, Morgan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to get a salmon sandwich now.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. That was Freedom Impact Trust. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've loved chatting once again. Please leave a comment below because it really helps the algorithm and helps get the podcast out there. And also, let us know if there's any financial questions which you want answering, and we can answer them in the pod next week. Like I said, share, like, comment, subscribe, and let everybody know about the podcast.
And thank you to our sponsors, FINT, the financial investment app, where you can invest from as little as £50 a month.
£50?
Yes, £50, Kurz.
Oh, wow, it's an absolute bargain. And don't forget, it's through 3 different portfolios. So choose the one that you like and get investing.
Have a great day.
See you later, guys.